Hey guys, so I got tagged by That Murder Inc. to answer 8 questions. First question is, most memorable trip. My most memorable trip would probably have to be when I flew into Alaska. I flew into Alaska, it was dark. When I got to Alaska, it was dark. And when I went to Fort Wainwright, I got to see terrible parts of Alaska. Just a lot of brown, a lot of nothing, boring. I mean, there's one bar there and you have to be 21 to go to it. I was 19 at the time, so I was thinking this was going to suck. And then a couple weeks later, I got on orders to go down to Fort Richardson. Fort Richardson's near Anchorage. I flew in dark. I got picked up by a van by some random dude in uniform that I had no clue who was. And we drove in to Fort Richardson. It was dark. And went to my barracks. Went to sleep. Woke up. Walked outside during daytime. And there's nothing but mountains everywhere. Snow covered. It looked like a postcard. I think that's my most memorable trip. And the big thing is that was my first duty station for the Army. That was my very first duty station. So I had no idea what I was expecting, and I was going to Alaska. Like, that is few soldiers go to Alaska. Few soldiers go to Alaska. Like, it's especially being an MP. But I think that'd probably be my most memorable trip. I remember that vividly. Once I woke up and saw what it looked like in Alaska and what was really awesome at Fort Richardson and the scenery, I was just like, I'm going to love this place. I'm going to absolutely love it. Number 2, solo or social camp. I'm very team-oriented. I like having a 3-man team. It's what I was used to in the Army, and it's what I've grown to love and rely on, and that's my comfort zone. That's my safe space. My safe space is a 3-man team. But the issue is when I go on these trips and stuff like that, nobody trains enough. Nobody practices enough with their equipment. At least not in my social circles. For me to be comfortable with them to be on a hunt with me, where I'm going and what I'm doing. Like, there's going to be times when you might not eat for a couple days, and you're packing a ruck and you're moving out. Like, I try to push in as much. I try to push in so far that I know I'm never going to run into a hunter when it comes to land. And if I don't have anybody that is training the way that I train, or ruck marching, or bettering themselves, you're a liability instead of an asset. And I can't risk you injuring yourself and me not being able to get you out of it. And the reason why I train for these is to have the mentality of, I need to know that I'm not going to slow the person I'm down with. I need to know that I'm physically fit to accomplish our goals when we're hunting. Whether it be go to the top of that mountain and spot everything, whether it be pack out meat in your rucksack, I have to know that I'm not a hindrance. Most people don't have that. I'm not going to say most. A lot of people don't have that mind frame. So what ends up happening is I end up having to go solo, which makes it super hard on me, which is fine. I can take it, deal with it, train for it, have no problem with it. But if I had my choice, I'd have a 3-man team. I'd work with 2 other people. It's just so much easier. You shoot a deer, I'm taking a third of the weight to help you. You're taking a third of the weight off of me. Another person's taking a third of the weight off. But what ends up happening is I end up going solo because I guess everybody's a pussy. Number 3, where did you learn bushcraft skills? I'm gonna have to go with Murder Inc. Me and Murder Inc. I watched his video, and we're very parallel on our thought process here. Bushcraft skills weren't bushcraft skills growing up. Bushcraft skills were, hey, you want to spend all your time in the woods? Well, then you need to learn how to be able to stay in here and do what you need to if you don't have the comforts of, say, like a tent or anything. I grew up in the woods. I grew up on 38 acres. And all the surrounding farms that were butted up against our property, I helped work their farms. So I had free range on making four-wheeler trails on these properties. I could literally go 4 or 5 miles on my four-wheeler without ever touching a road, and I could go to all my buddies' house where the only time I had to touch a road is just if we were just crossing over it with a four-wheeler. So if you stay, my release when growing up was me and my buddies would go camping. I could call my buddy Chris, who you saw on the chicken wing video, big, tall, huge bastard. That was my buddy growing up. That's my childhood friend, and he's my best friend. And I could call him up at 10 o'clock at night and be like, "Hey man, you want to go camping?" And he'd be like, "All right, I'll start loading up now." And he would go, and we'd ride off on four-wheelers and go camping wherever we wanted to. But you had to learn, like we can't go into a store and buy a lighter. You know what I mean? You could ask for a lighter from somebody who smoked, or ask to take one, or hell, steal one out of Piggly Wiggly's or something. But we never really did that. So we had to learn how to take care of ourselves in the woods with what we had, and what we had was the woods. My dad wasn't about buying me gear, wasn't about buying me cool packs or fire starters or anything like that. You know, it was you made do with what you had, and what we had was the woods. So you had to develop those skills. I honed them more when I went through Cold Weather Leaders course in Alaska. I learned more about Arctic survival and making lean-tos and making A-frames and how to survive in a cold weather environment when you don't have anything. That's where I honed it. It's where I learned more. But it was fun to me because I could apply the skills that I had already learned and knew. I just didn't have a place to apply them. And then Cold Weather Leaders course turned it more into expert level course. And that's where I honed my bushcraft skills. But my bushcraft skills weren't bushcraft skills going up. They're just what you needed to learn. Like Murder Inc. said, you had to learn how to track, and that's just from growing up hunting. You know, you had to learn what you can do to survive, how to get shelter, how to make fire, how to acquire food. That was just a normal part of growing up for me. It wasn't something I set out to. And then, of course, when the internet came around, using those 4,000 hours of free AOL discs, you get to learn a little bit more, trade information, learn more things that I was interested in. And then the Army has, in their level 1 skill book, the Army has a good bit of survival skills on that level too, and that was fun to read and learn about from there, from the Army. Favorite fire starting method? A lighter. Like, no shit. Seriously, I'm an adult. I get a lighter now. I used to smoke, so I have one on me all the time. It's just, I throw them in my fire starting kit. It doesn't mean that, like, I have a little fire starting kit that has like little fire starting logs. It has my magnesium fire starter and fire striker, but it also has a lighter in it. Like, I know how to use a bow and drill to make a fire. I know how to rub sticks together to start a fire and get tinder. I know all those things, but you know it's super easy and takes less fucking time and it barely notice that you have it? Put a fucking lighter in your pocket. For real. So much simpler. So much simpler. I can go get a bundle. I can go get a bundle of tinder, and I can take my lighter. It go like this, and I have a fire. Or I can use my magnesium starter. I can go get a tinder bundle, and I can scrape all the magnesium into it, and then I can light it, and then I can. That takes time away from the fire going that I could be spent on doing something else. Bettering my foxhole, bettering what I'm living in, fixing my tent, setting up. Anything that I could do instead of having to spend time working on taking too long to start a fire. Like I said, though, trained on everything else, and I've practiced on everything else, just in case one of those days I don't have a lighter. But, no shit. Favorite fire starting method? With a lighter. Just flick your bick, man, and you're warm. I don't need to, I know how to be a caveman, doesn't mean I need to be a caveman. Most essential part of your kit. See, me and that Murder Inc., we're in agreement here. My primary. If I have my primary, I can get food. Whether it be a rabbit, a squirrel, a deer, moose, an elk, a bear, any of that. My primary. I need to feed myself, and that's the easiest way to feed myself. Also, not to get dark or dreary here, or get into the dark part of thinking about this. It's more, if I have my weapon on me, and how I'm trained and what I train to do, and the experience that I have with tactics of getting in firefights and clearing rooms and stuff like that. If I have my primary, there's not many people around anywhere that I'm at that's going to be more trained and more well-armed than I am. And even if they are more well-armed, they're not as well-trained as me. So if I have my primary and I need to survive, then I can take what you have. And I don't want to go that route. Don't get me wrong. I would love to say, hey man, we're surviving out here. I need some water. And someone would just be like, hey, yeah, here you go. Here's your water. That's not going to happen. That's not going to really happen. What's going to happen is everybody's going to hoard their supplies. So, with my primary, I can survive by taking what you have. It's not very moral. It's not very... doesn't have a lot of values to it. But if it comes down to me surviving or you surviving, I think you'll pick yourself. I think you'll pick yourself every time. Do you prefer wood, gas, or spirit stoves? I don't pack stoves. I think they're added weight. I think they're super neat. I like those quick little rocket stoves that you see people have, but legitimately when I go out in the woods, I'm surrounded by fuel. All I gotta do is just gather it up and find the right ones. That's all. If I can, the wood is all around me. I can make a campfire. I can boil water if I need to. And everything around me is fuel when I'm in the woods. It's like, I guess it's like carrying a gas tank, but not having to carry a gas tank. And I've never had. Now, if I had to pick like an actual stove to take, I love the SHA Army Arctic stove. They're amazing. They're a dual fuel stove. They can burn anything, whether it be coal, wood, gas, diesel, JP8. They can burn anything. They just come Everything's packed inside of it. It's a little bit, it's about 15-20 pounds or so. But if I had a stove to pick, I'd pick that stove for sure. You can run anything in it, whether it be wood or fuel. And I had one of those when I was doing a cold weather leaders course in our Arctic tent. It was a squad size Arctic tent, so 6-man. Sorry. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was a 6-man. A 6-man Arctic tent. And it was -60 out, and that sat in the middle of it, and we were super warm. We were really warm. It did great. We ran it off of diesel at the time. I don't know. They're my favorite stoves ever, but when it comes down to it, I don't take stoves, and I just make campfires. Do you have a bug out bag? Got 3 of them. In the Army, we have our A bag, our B bag, and our C bag. And your A bag is just your assault pack. That is everything that you need to survive for 3 days. If you grab a hold of that and just walk out, and just walk straight into the woods, you have everything you need to survive. You have everything you need to survive for 3 days. Then you have your B bag, and that's usually your assault, your rucksack. So your B bag has everything that you need to survive for about a month. Not including perishables and stuff, but some people put perishables like, canned food in it and stuff. I think that's extra weight, and I'm already carrying a weapon. I'll already be carrying a weapon anyway, so I'll get food. But your B bag is usually your rucksack, and that's for surviving for a month. And then your C bag is for 3 months. So I have an A bag and a C bag, B bag and a C bag, and the C bag's for 3 months. It has everything I need to establish a temporary shelter. All the amenities you want at a headquarters or a home base or anything you want to call it, where you're pushing your missions out of. I have that pack. That's for 3 months. And if I'm stuck out in the woods for 3 freaking months, then I'm using my primary to upgrade to somebody's house. Somebody's house is going to be mine. That's how that's going to work. Oh, I forgot one. Sorry. Favorite knife. I have 2 of them. I have 2 of them, but to me, knives are knives. Every knife serves a purpose. I don't have one that... I've got my everyday carry knife that I just have for doing whatever. I mostly clean my nails with it. I've got 2 knives that mean something to me. I guess you could say that's favorite. I've got one here, my squad leader, Sergeant Tafoya. He actually has a YouTube channel. His YouTube channel is T-Money7600, so T-Money7600. He's only got 9 subscribers, so it would be hilarious if all you guys went and subscribed to him. He would say something. Tell him on his videos that Cook Goes Hunting sent you there. It'll blow his mind. He's over in Turkey right now, and he's still in the Army. But he gave me a knife that his father gave him, and he knows that I hunt and do stuff like that. I'm an outdoors type individual, and he can't, being in the Army at the time, even though he would love to. So he gave me this knife here. His father made it. His dad made it. He made it out of a deer antler. I don't know what piece of metal it's made out of or how he made it. He didn't give me much. He just told me that his father gave this to him, and I would get more use out of it since I'm more outdoors. But I think it looks really cool. You can see the pitting and the different discolorations in the blade. I think it's really neat. And then he made the handle out of a deer antler. I think it's a real nice knife. I've used this to butcher my deer before. I just need to get a better edge on it to make it more useful. That's all. And I just haven't took the time and just made it happen. But it is a heavy. It's a pretty thick knife. I mean, it's a sturdy. It just reminds me of what, you know, back in the day mountain men would carry, like actual mountaineers, you know, fur trappers and stuff like that. The Jeremiah Johnson days. I love this knife. I think it's awesome. It sits on my bedside little chest. I have another one here. This one here is my best friend Lovejoy's knife. He has passed, but I talked to his brother, and his brother made sure that I got this. Lovejoy carried this in Iraq with him. He always had it. He always had it in his interceptor vest. It's a Gerber. It's a Gerber M16. It says. Pretty sure it's a Gerber. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, it's a Gerber Cricket. CRKT. Pretty sure Gerber makes those. M16 knife. It's a very thick knife, very sturdy. You can pry on stuff if you want to. It has double locking, so you have to move this little lever and then move another level on the inside to unlock the blade. So when it's out, it's there. Like, there's no give or slack in this blade, and I appreciate it. I like to be able to move a knife and not feel any play in it. It's just made well, and I've had it. I mean, me and Lovejoy used to cook in the barracks when we weren't supposed to be, and he would cut chicken up and peppers, and we would cook for our friends and share food with them, even though we weren't allowed to. It's got a lot of, I guess, sentimental value, and I use it and I carry it on me when I'm field dressing deer. It's just with the Tanto blade at the end, very sharp at the top. It's super easy for anybody who's field dressed a deer, knows how much of a pain it is when you reach up into a chest cavity, grab esophagus, and to split away. The weird angle you have to get through that. With this knife and the Tanto blade, I can literally hold on and I can just nick, and I can just nick until I get all the way through. Very sharp edge. I can just nick stuff that I need to without worrying about like cutting into bile, bile holding areas like your stomach or intestines and stuff like that when you're field dressing. That's all. That would be my 8 questions answered there. That Murder Inc., thank you for tagging me. I appreciate it. I know I haven't been very active in the YouTube community recently. I just haven't had the chance to. I haven't been getting real busy. It's just I haven't had anything that's important or fun to show you guys recently. Little update. If you guys have probably already seen it, I got a new series coming up called Stuck Indoors. There's a video for that. Please read the description. It'll tell you what that's all about. I think we're going to have a lot of fun with that, especially if you guys are with me and can comment in the sections after it's done. But it also gives me a time to do something and spend time with my significant other, Dan Bob. So I think that's a good idea. I have Timmy the Tooth is coming to visit me tomorrow. He's going to stay the weekend. So I will have more videos of Ordinary Tales of Bravery coming up. I'm excited about that. I lost the other videos. They're there. It's just going to take months before I can get to them. Still having issues with that computer hard drive. But new content coming up for Ordinary Tales of Bravery. New series coming up. Again, That Murder Inc., thank you for tagging me. That gives me something to do and to give something to show a video to send back to you guys. I really appreciate it, man. Appalachia on the Hunt. We're gonna be collabing up here soon. Murder Inc., email me. We might be doing something here soon. I'm really hoping that we can make this happen. I get real sick of the all talk and no action type of thing. You know what I mean? We can talk about it for months, and then it just kind of gets pushed to the wayside. And I hate that. I really look forward to hanging out with people that have my same mentality, thought process are into the same things. It's fun having a person that I can share those with. So I really look forward to doing collabs with some of you guys. We will see you guys later. Thanks for tuning in to the video. I appreciate it. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. Pull a big man outdoors and smash that like button. Smash it. Make sure to send down a comment down below. Let's see. I guess we would have to tag people. Let's see. I'm going down through who I'm looking at here. I would like to see the Wyatt Life. Especially, hey, the Wyatt Life, congratulations on the new baby, bro. Hope everything's doing great around your way. If you get some time, please answer the same questions. I'll put the questions down in the description of this video so that you can get exactly what they are. So I'll tag the Wyatt Life, and let's see. Davey Newman. We haven't seen something from Davey Newman in a long time, and I miss seeing Davey Newman videos. I will put a link down into the description for both of their channels. Of course, I'll also put a link down in the description for T-Money's channel, Sergeant Tafoya's. Maybe you guys can subscribe him with a bunch of comments and subscription. I'd really appreciate it. It might motivate him to make more videos. But yeah, the Wyatt Life and Davey Newman. You guys' turn. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Cook. This is Cook Goes Hunting. We'll see you when we see you. Later, guys. Bye.